The dream and the drop. Every year, millions of people quit their jobs, burn their savings, and chase the dream of freedom, building their own business. But here's the brutal truth. Over 90% of startups fail, and half of them don't survive the first 12 months. That means by the time you finish watching this video, hundreds of founders somewhere in the world will have just closed their companies, quietly, painfully, and often without ever knowing what really went wrong. The startup world sells success stories, but it hides the pattern of failure. And the real mystery isn't why some companies succeed, it's why so many fail the exact same way. Because if you look closely, failure isn't random. It's predictable. It's structured. It's almost designed. Today, we'll break down how good ideas die fast, from misplaced passion to broken systems, and why success isn't about genius or funding, but survival psychology. The myth of the startup hero. We love startup mythology. The garage genius, the underdog story, the all-night hustle that turns into a billion-dollar empire. Silicon Valley built an entire religion around it. Words like disruption, scale, unicorn, and visionary became gospel. But behind the glossy documentaries and TED Talks, most founders live a different reality: debt, burnout, anxiety, and failure. Because for every success like Airbnb or SpaceX, there are tens of thousands that vanish before anyone even hears their name. So what really happens inside that first year, when ambition meets reality? The psychology of the startup dream. It begins with the spark, the idea that changes everything. Most founders start with emotion, not logic. They see a problem and feel an urgent need to fix it. That energy is gold. It's what fuels innovation, but it's also what blinds you. In psychology, it's called the romance of the idea. You fall in love with the concept before testing if anyone else wants it. You assume that because you believe, the world will too. And that's the first domino in a chain of failure. The first few months feel electric. You design a logo, build a website, get your first customers or downloads. Friends cheer you on. You feel unstoppable. But beneath that excitement, something dangerous forms. The illusion of progress. You're busy, but not necessarily effective. You confuse activity with traction, feedback with validation, and hope with data. Most startups die not because they run out of money, but because they run out of clarity. They spend months chasing the wrong metrics, followers, downloads, or hype, instead of the only number that matters: profitability per customer. The business looks alive on social media, but inside, it's bleeding cash. Around month 6 to 9, the honeymoon ends. Cash flow tightens, growth stalls. The initial buzz fades. You realize that marketing is harder than coding, that selling is harder than building, and that passion doesn't pay invoices. Investors want numbers, customers want trust, and the team wants direction. You're the founder, the marketer, the accountant, and the janitor all at once. This is where founder psychology breaks. Doubt replaces confidence. Every small loss feels fatal. And here's the pattern. At this stage, most founders either pivot in panic or persist in denial. Both can be deadly. When survival becomes the only goal, decision-making gets emotional. You discount your prices to win clients, destroying margins. You chase investors instead of customers, losing focus. You hire too early or too cheap, building chaos. You burn yourself out, killing the one asset the company can't replace: you. And one by one, the dominoes fall. Startups don't collapse in one moment. They erode quietly until one missed payment, one lost client, one burnout week pushes everything over the edge. Then silence. A website goes offline, an Instagram page stops posting, another dream fades into the void of almost. Why common advice doesn't work. You've heard the advice before. Fail fast, pivot early, move fast, and break things. But what if that mindset is part of the problem? Failing fast only works if you're learning deliberately. Pivoting helps only if you know what you're pivoting toward. Most founders don't fail because they move too slow. They fail because they move too blindly. They listen to hustle culture more than market signals. They copied the strategies of giants without having their resources. They built for scale before proving survival. In reality, success in year one isn't about innovation. It's about discipline. Execution beats ideas. Cash flow beats followers. Clarity beats hype. The startup as a mirror of society. Startups are microcosms of the world we live in. They amplify our culture's obsession with speed, disruption, and recognition. We celebrate unicorns but ignore the graveyard beneath them. We admire the founder grind without questioning its human cost. In many ways, startup culture reflects modern identity itself. We crave independence but fear failure. We chase validation instead of mastery. We build brands before building systems. And the algorithm loves it, because struggle makes great content. Founders don't just build startups anymore. They perform them. Online, for investors, for attention. And that performance can become more consuming than the product itself. Why startups implode? After analyzing thousands of failed startups, 5 recurring traps appear. No real problem solved. The idea was exciting, but the customer pain wasn't urgent. Weak cash management. Founders overestimate revenue and underestimate expenses. Ego-driven decision-making. Pride blocks feedback. Emotion replaces logic. Team misalignment. Partnerships built on friendship, not complementary skills. Premature scaling. Expanding before product market fit. The fastest way to burn money. These traps don't just kill businesses. They break founders mentally. Because each one erodes the same thing. Belief. And when belief dies, execution follows. What survivors do differently. Here's the paradox. The startups that survive the first year aren't necessarily smarter or luckier. They're more self-aware. They obsess over 3 principles. Focus over frenzy. They track one key metric and ignore the noise. Feedback over fantasy. They talk to customers weekly, not investors monthly. Flexibility over pride. They're willing to kill their own ideas fast when data disagrees. These founders understand that year one isn't about building an empire. It's about proving a habit of listening, adapting, and managing energy as carefully as money. They don't chase validation. They chase viability. The founder's inner game. Every startup has 2 battles, the one in the market and the one in the mind. The first is external, competition, funding, strategy. The second is internal, fear, doubt, identity. Most founders lose the second first. Psychologically, entrepreneurship triggers constant stress responses. Uncertainty activates the amygdala, reducing rational decision-making. That's why burnout feels like chaos. Your brain is literally hijacked by fear. The strongest founders develop emotional systems, routines, mentors, mindfulness, to keep logic alive when pressure peaks. Because the secret weapon isn't resilience, it's regulation. The ability to stay calm when everything feels impossible. The new startup mindset. The startups of the next decade won't win by chasing scale. They'll win by mastering sustainability. Lean, remote, automated, purpose-driven. Built by small, focused teams solving real human problems, not just tech puzzles. The age of the growth at all costs unicorn is ending. The age of the profitable from the start camel has begun. In the new economy, survival isn't a badge of luck. It's a strategy. Startups fail because of people, not products. Ego, misalignment, and burnout destroy more companies than bad ideas ever do. Focus is the ultimate currency. The first year is not about doing everything. It's about doing one thing exceptionally well. Survival is success. If you make it past year one, you're already in the top 10%. Everything after that is refinement, not rescue. The myth of overnight success. Every overnight success you admire was built over years of invisible failure. Every viral company once teetered on the edge of collapse. The danger is comparing your day 1 to someone else's year 10. Startups don't fail because the dream was too big. They fail because the timeline was too short. And when founders mistake momentum for mastery, the dream burns faster than the cash. So if you're building something, remember, the first 12 months aren't a sprint. They're a test of endurance. And the prize isn't fame or funding, it's survival. If this breakdown helped you see the truth behind startup failure, hit like and subscribe. Because in the next episode, we'll decode another hidden force behind business success. How Apple makes you pay more without realizing it. Until then, stay grounded, stay patient, and remember, the difference between failure and success isn't genius, it's stamina.